Guys, it is Monday evening. It is 6:20. Zuko has just joined me. We have just been on the most wholesome dog walk ever. It was so sweet, literally. So there's a little cut through near where we live that leads to the woods, which is where we tend to walk. And as we were walking through, there was this kid. He was probably like 11 or 12. And he was like struggling to pull his bike up the stairs, and I wanted to go and help, but because I had Zuko, I knew that if I got closer, Zuko would go nuts wanting to meet him. So when he got to the top, his dad was like a little way behind with their dog. And as soon as he saw Zuko, he was like, oh, is he friendly? And I love when kids get to meet Zuko, because Zuko just loves, like, I can't express how friendly this dog is, right? He loves everyone. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not well behaved. He will literally jump up everyone, including kids. But this boy was like, oh, is he friendly? I was like, he is over friendly. Like, he is so friendly. I was like, if you come, like, you can come meet him, but he will probably jump up. And obviously I try and not let him, but he just does anyway. But this kid just embraced it. Like, they were the same height when Zuko jumped up him, and this kid was like bear hugging him, and Zuko was like licking his face. And he was like, oh my God, he's so flat. Like, he was so obsessed with Zuko, and he said like huskies are his favorites. Like, he loves them so much. And he probably fussed Zuko for close to 10 minutes. And his dad obviously wasn't far behind. So when his dad caught up, Zuko wanted to say hello to their dog. But Zuko loved this kid. Like, it was the sweetest thing. And it makes me so happy seeing him have these interactions. Because one thing, before we got Zuko, so obviously we bought Zuko, like, we did buy him from a breeder. I do want to adopt in the future, but because when we got him, and still I am working in the office 2 days a week, even though they're short days, most of the places around here that I looked into potentially adopting a dog from wouldn't have let me. So obviously we made sure the breeder was a good breeder. And honestly, when we met his litter, none of them were like, they were all so well socialized. Like, they were so friendly. And one thing I said before we even went to meet them, I was like, if we are getting a puppy, I really want to do everything in my power to make them as social as possible, not just with people, but also with dogs. So the first few weeks of having Zuko, because we got him at 8 weeks old, we had people around most days. Like, we had literally people around near enough every day. On the days I was in the office, either my mum or my friend would come around and sit with him so that he wasn't left for too long at a time. And every week we kind of extended how long he was on his own for to get him used to it. And because it was like strangers coming in to see him and stuff, he was like, he just loves everyone. Like, I'm so glad we did that. And then as soon as he was allowed to go on walks and he was vaccinated, we met up with anyone I knew that had dogs. Like, literally anyone. Like, he was forced to socialise. And because of that, he just loves everyone. So nothing makes me happy. Like, I'm not a maternal person. I'm not a massive fan of kids, I'll be totally honest. But when you see like a kid's face light up when they see Zuko walking towards them, and then they make a fuss of him, like, it really is lovely. And he just made like this little boy so happy. And what was also really cool, when I was saying about how hyper Zuko is, this little boy was like, oh, me too, I have ADHD. And like, the way he said it, like, it was like he was actually like really confident and almost like proud, and it just made me really happy. Like, he was such a sweet kid, and it was just lovely seeing Zuko have that interaction. Like, it's really made my evening, like, and made my day. Like, it was just so nice. I don't really have a lot to say from today. Like, it's just been a very standard day. Like, I spent the morning in the office. Came home, I was home lunchtime, hung out with Zuko in the garden, which is our daily thing at the moment, enjoyed some sunshine, on the phone with my mum for a bit before I came upstairs and got my coaching work done, which I think I said in the last video, like, I really got ahead the first half of the week. So all I've really been doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is just replies. So hasn't really taken too much time. Got all of my replies done by 4:30, and then I'm probably going to take tomorrow off, which is pretty normal for me. I've said this in many videos. With my coaching, I give like a 72-hour reply window, so I'll always reply within 72 hours. That is just to cover me if I'm ever at comps over a weekend, or like if I'm feeling unwell or anything like that. Like, I can take a day off and not worry that people aren't sure when I'm getting back to them. Generally though, I always reply to people within, I try to always reply to people within 24 hours. But it's pretty standard procedure that at the moment, like for the last few months, I've been taking the Saturday mostly off, unless I've just got some free time, then I'll just work through some replies. But because I literally reply to everyone, it'll only be just over 24 hours by the time I then reply to them on Sunday morning, because normally that's the first thing I do on a Sunday. So I can have tomorrow off. Okay, so it is Saturday. It is 4:20. My camera has not got a lot of battery, which it's fine. I'm just going to talk until it dies. Anyway, it's Saturday afternoon. I am now about to train. It's just primary squats and priming bench, so very light bench today. Squats, relatively heavy, but for a week 2, shouldn't be an issue. Can get through them pretty quickly. I'm going to try and train within an hour and just get it done, to be honest. Like, I'm not in the mood to train. If I'm being fully transparent, I am not in the best of moods today. That might be a bit of an understatement. I have spoken in the last few videos about trying to really stay on top of my stress levels. And one thing that I did this week was get so ahead of my work that I could take today completely off, which isn't uncommon for me to take a Saturday off, like I generally do. But I made sure yesterday to have every client message replied to. So then when I woke up this morning, the only messages I had first thing were from clients that trained late last night. And then I've had a few come through from people training today, obviously, but I'll get back to those tomorrow. That's not a problem. It's within my reply time window, absolutely fine. But I took today off because I could kind of feel that I just needed a day. A day not just off from work, but just off from life. Like, my work isn't even the thing that's stressing me out. Like, just life is feeling a bit much right now. And I've spoken in the last few videos about managing my stress levels. And today I just crumbled and I realised that it's definitely worse than I thought it was in terms of how stressed I've been feeling. And I've kind of just been masking it all week with work, to be honest. I plan to have today as just a lazy day. First thing I did this morning, which was always the plan, was catching up on last night's Powerlifting American Nationals, the 63, 69 and 83 prime time, which I was really looking forward to, and it did not disappoint at all. So I was really looking forward to that. I watched that first thing this morning with Zuko. We sat on the sofa together. He was being a nightmare because he was hyper because it's first thing in the morning. Watched that, chilled morning. I went back to bed for an hour because I was so tired because I didn't go to bed until late last night. He woke me up at 6. And then the plan was just literally going to be shower, get ready for the day, walk Zuko, chill out, train, do some jobs around the house, that sort of thing. Like a very easy Saturday, being somewhat productive and getting stuff done around the house I've been wanting to do for a while, and also just getting things a bit cleaner because living in mess does stress me out. But it just didn't end up like that. It got to lunchtime and I just crumbled, like literally just crumbled before we walked Zuko. Like, I was just, everything just got a bit much. And I do think one thing I'm really, like, I've been speaking about my stress levels in the last few videos, and I've been really trying to manage them as much as possible, and it is a very important thing to do, but I'm kind of becoming a lot more self-aware of what makes me feel that way. And I definitely notice that social media is a big thing for me that makes me feel stressed, and I have made a really conscious effort to not go on my phone so much, partly also because I just don't think screen time is great for us. Don't get me wrong, I love social media. My business is run through my social media for a lot of it. Like, I find a lot of my clients through it. I also learn a lot through it, and I like to talk to my friends through it. Like, that's what I use social media for. I spend a long time on there. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I've just noticed recently, like, I just want to detach from the world a little bit. And I think it's because I see a lot of like negative things on there as well, and it is just feeling like a little bit much lately. So basically I've been making a really conscious effort to stay away from it a little bit more. And I've noticed that when I am then back on there, it's just a bit overwhelming. So basically I'm just trying to take a step back. And today I'm not going to go into specific things, but things have just been very overwhelming. And I am an extroverted person. Like, I love talking to people, but also I'm a massive introvert. Like, I love just spending days at home on my own. Like, even if my boyfriend's out all day, I'm perfectly happy. Like, even before Zuko, I'll sit on the sofa and do my own thing. Like, I'll spend a whole day on my own by myself, and I'm more than happy with that. Not to say I'm not happy when I'm also socialising, because I am a social being as well. Like, I do like to go out and talk to people, or like have people over and chat. And I can talk for England, as you can probably tell from these videos. But I just haven't had space away from the world without having to talk to people in a while. Like, and this doesn't include work, obviously. Like, I love my job. Like, I absolutely love it. This is more from like a personal, like, social life perspective. I just need to be like out of it for a bit. I just need a bit of a reset. I need to go back to being a little bit of a recluse for a bit. And so that's what I'm really trying to channel today. And I'm also going to continue trying to channel more as I go forwards. One thing I've done that's definitely helped is I've turned all of my notifications off on Instagram, because I do use Instagram to message. Like, that's my main source of messaging my friends. Work-wise, I use WhatsApp. So my WhatsApp notifications and stuff are always going to stay on, and also that's how my family contact me. But just from like a personal, like, trying to just like shield myself a little bit, I am taking a bit of a step back from just being quite a social. And it's definitely good for me to do that. Like, I need that break. I need to just be in my own world. I need to just be in my own life and like just calm. I don't really know how to explain it. I've definitely just rambled a bit, but basically just want to come on and admit that I'm feeling pretty stressy and just not in the best place. But I know I am fine. It's annoying that I say this because actually things are great. Like things are really, really great. Like, but something is just making me stressed. And I think, as I mentioned in a previous video, it's the social media thing of like people having 24/7 access to each other. Like I hate that. Like I really hate that specific thing. And I've always been someone, like with all of my friends, like I am a bit slack when I reply to people because I don't want to feel like I owe anyone replies. I don't want to get in that habit of replying all the time, talking all the time. Like we shouldn't be in each other's lives that much. And I think that's something that I've been struggling with a lot lately. And so yeah, I'm basically just trying to distance myself a little bit just from the world. Not like fully, obviously, but I just feel like I need that space a little bit because it's just gotten a bit much recently. So yeah, and obviously main thing I don't want to impact my training, so that's why I am going to be a bit of a recluse, I think, for a bit. I've not got a lot of social plans. I mean, to be honest, the only social plans I make now, which is actually really nice, is just meeting up people for dog walks. Like, that's fine with me. Like an hour or two's dog walk, chat as we go around. That, I love. But yeah, I want to just live in my life for a bit, just away from everyone else's lives. I don't really know how to explain it. And I've definitely just kind of rambled quite a lot there, but I want to at least come on and acknowledge that I'm not feeling great. I am struggling a bit, and that's normal. That's fine. You just got to do something about it, which I am, which is turning my notifications off, and just, yeah, living in my own world a little bit more and doing things around the house, like painting and stuff. Like I've got to do all the skirting and stuff soon, so I might even start that this weekend and just like get on with it. I kind of fancy doing some stuff in the garden. Not that I have a clue what I'm doing in the garden, and just doing things that are productive, getting me like distracted from the world, but also making my life easier because I'm getting jobs done that I need to get done. So yeah, that is where we're at. I do need to get on a train though. I really don't want to. I'm very tired today. Which to be honest, part of the reason I probably just like crumbled today is just the lack of sleep last night. Like that won't obviously have helped. But it's okay. I'll get more tonight. I will go to bed early tonight. I didn't go to bed early last night at all. I ended up not going to bed until I watched the women's live squats for American Nationals, which didn't finish until like 11:30. And then I realised that was really silly of me because Zuko will be waking up at 6:30 in the morning no matter what time I go to sleep. And then my boyfriend got home like just after that anyway, so that kind of woke me up hearing him come home obviously. So yeah, not the best. But tonight I am going to be in bed by 9:00 and I'm going to be asleep by 9:30. I'm telling myself this now. And I'm just going to have a really chilled evening once I've done a few of the jobs around the house. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm just going to get the session done. It's not a heavy week. I don't need to think about it too much. I just need to get on, do it. As soon as squats are done, I'll be breezing through anyway because bench is super light. I've also been invited to train at a couple of different gyms next weekend, but I think next weekend we're also filming the Bucks preview show for the British Uni Champs. So I'm probably not going to be able to go anywhere and train. But I think if I do, I'll just kind of go on my own and then just meet up obviously with people that said about training. But the week after is my week 4 anyway, where I'll be going to powering through. So we'll see. But it's like this point when my strength is at a point where my week 3s are scary. So my week 4s are terrifying, but I do them with spotters, so it's not so bad. But like my week 3 numbers are scary. So yeah. Also, something that I probably shouldn't speak about on here, but I'm going to because it annoyed me. I can just hear Zuko outside the garage eating leaves. We were on a dog walk earlier. Bearing in mind, I'd already had mental breakdown at this point. And just the dog walk really helped, to be fair, but my boyfriend went with us as well. It was all 3 of us, me, him and Zuko. And we bumped into one of our neighbours who is lovely. We don't really speak to him a lot, but he has a dog that we often see on dog walks, and his dog and Zuko always try and get to each other from the other side of the road. Firstly, hilarious that he saw my boyfriend and was like, "Is it you that lifts weights in your garage?" to my boyfriend. And then he was like, "Oh no, it's actually her." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm assuming that means you can hear me." I was going to just apologise if the music was too loud or anything. Obviously I want to keep everyone happy. He was like, "Oh, it's just when you..." I'm talking quietly because one of our other neighbours was in the garden when I came in here. It's just when you put the weights down, it makes our TV shake and it makes our TV move. And I think he just said shake to start with. And I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I do have..." Obviously a deadlift platform. I didn't say deadlift platform, I said I've got like matting and stuff down to try and absorb some of that. And he's like, yeah, well, yeah, it's just, you know, it does make the TV shake. We were sat down watching telly the other night and we noticed it. And I thought to myself, I've been deadlifting in this garage since September. And we see him quite a lot. And he is the sort of person, like, he's lovely. He would say something when we saw him, and he didn't say it in a rude way. But he was like, can you maybe look into getting some more matting and stuff? Because obviously I wasn't going to say I'm not going to do it because I have to do it. But I also wasn't going to sit here and explain that I'm like a powerlifting athlete. And obviously I want to be reasonable, like if it was actually going to cause a problem. But also, his bungalow is quite far away, guys. Bear in mind I've had home gyms for 4 years now. My parents' house, the garage was attached to the living room. Anyway, and he was like, yeah, it's more that, like, you know, what if we go away and we're not there to sort it, and it like, you know, bounces off the table and smashes? It's a $3 grand TV. And I'm like, what can I say? What can I say? Anyway, that's really stressed me out as well, because, like, in that moment I was feeling fragile. To then have that, I'm like, I can't think of a solution right now. And I was like, my deadlift's shit anyway, it's not heavy enough to cause any problems. That was my first thought. I definitely didn't say that. Anyway, and also my deadlift's not shit. That was just me being negative towards myself. Anyway, so that really stressed me out, and I just thought to myself, what can I do right now? I can't fix this problem. I can't put, like, absorbent mats. Like, what can I... Like, yes, I could get more layers of matting, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. So yeah, that also stressed me out, and I thought, well, adding a second deadlift day is not going to go down well, is it? Anyway, ran over, camera's literally about to die. I'm going to set up and train and get this done as quickly as I can so I can just go in and be productive and do other things.
Down by the schoolyard where the A-crowd Brianna's mindless moves. They talk about the spring break handle, yeah, Tijuana, here we come. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone what her and I got going on. Brianna's brother's buying beer, so freaking cool, can you believe? He'll bring his friends to college guys, our weekend plans are such a dream. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Not a soul that when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it, give it to me. The way she's looking at me, she's so damn.
Okay, so I don't want to sit too close to the camera because I'm filming this on my phone, which is just not a very forgiving camera anyway. My camera died, basically, when I was talking before. I was waiting for it to die. I literally just spoke until it died, and then I got on and trained. Squats were fine, like absolutely fine. To be fair, warm-ups actually felt better than I thought they would, but like I'm definitely dehydrated. I have a headache. I've obviously been trying to hydrate as much as I could. I mean, I could have put an electrolyte tablet in my drink, and I should have. I was just being lazy and couldn't bother to go get one when I was like getting ready to come out here. But I'm just like being kind to myself with how everything's moving, but actually everything moved as it should. It just felt a bit harder than it should, but I'm not surprised by that. I had to really get in the zone a little bit more for today's session, but I think mostly that is just down to the fact that mentally, like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to train today. I'm feeling a bit sorry for I don't want to say sorry for myself. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm just not feeling great, and I know that that's obviously not going to impact, that's going to have some level of impact on training. Like, I don't admit that to myself until after I've done. And more months felt better than I thought they would. Like, my top double at 175 didn't feel great, but it didn't feel any worse than I kind of expected it to, had I come into this session feeling fantastic anyway. But yeah, like, I've got a headache. That's the main thing that's like putting me off. Again, I could go get some paracetamol, but that's upstairs and I can't be bothered to go get it. Also, my boyfriend has gone out now, so if I go indoors, it'll upset Zuko. He'll want to come play. But yeah, like, squats were fine. I think just training in general has made me feel a bit better, just from having like some good music on. I say good, some like girly pop on, and just kind of zoning out and distancing myself from the world while I just focus on training. And yeah, my back on fives at 155, they weren't easy by any means, but they weren't that difficult either. Squats just didn't feel particularly natural today, but that's also not uncommon. Like, I generally squats don't feel natural until the final week of the block most weeks, so almost blocks, so that's not a big deal. I'm not going to probably talk after I've benched. I might not even put my bench clips in because it's literally just doubles at 90, just to prime me for tomorrow. It's probably not even worth watching, especially because my camera's died. So I just thought I'd pop on and say I'm feeling a bit better since training. Still not feeling great, obviously, and like, so it's just I'm not good at not being good, like, and that sounds really probably stupid, but generally, like, I am a very much like a kind of like a matter of fact person, right? Like, I'm very aware that my mood, my success, my goals, everything is in my control. And then when I have days like this or periods like this where it's like I'm doing everything I can to not feel like bad, but I'm still feeling bad, like I don't cope with that very well. Like it annoys me because I don't understand why I can't just get on and feel fine. And I go into like denial mode about it a lot of the time, which is why this week, because I could sense this coming on, I was a lot more careful with what I was doing and a lot more mindful about how I was like dealing with things each day and like making more time to just be present and sit in the garden with Zuko every day, like little things like that to just try and like make me feel better, and like logging off earlier and stuff. I say earlier, like making sure I logged off before like 6 p.m. every day. And just, yeah, the fact that I'm not feeling good today on my day off that was supposed to be like my relaxing, nice day where I was just productive and got little things done around the house, like it annoys me and I'm not good at dealing with it, basically, is what I want to say. But it is what it is. We all go through phases like this. You can't be good 100% of the time. And I'm sure within the next day or two I'll be fine anyway. And yeah, this session's been fine. 5 at 155 on week 2 of the block is already massively pushing myself anyway, which I think is probably worth saying. If I was going into a very high pressure meet, I would not be probably pushing my squat volume this hard 2 blocks out. Like I wouldn't. I'd be like a little bit more conservative with it. But because of the fact that squat is progressing really well, these meets are low pressure, my main goal is British at the end of this year. And to be honest, more than that, it's British at the end of next year. Because I don't think this year, not being funny, in order to make Team GB this year, I would have to be totaling close to 600, if not 600, which I'm not even the 500s yet. I mean, I have the strength for 500, obviously that is the goal for the next couple of comps, is to get comfortably in the 500s, but like, I'm not going to add 100 kilos to my total in a year. I mean, I'll try, I'll do everything in my power to, but basically my goal for this year is just to get a good chunk ahead. There are other 84s on the rise as well, but I'm not like saying they're not going to get there as well. So that's why I'm not prioritizing these comps. I'm still building through these comps. And then British is when I will be making the most sensible programming choices in order to get the absolute most out of my body on the day of British. Obviously, that's the plan, that's the goal. So yeah, I am still pushing pretty hard. And I'm going to be pushing pretty hard into comp, or like these next 2 comps, because they don't matter. Like they matter in the sense that I want to PB my total, I want to win, maybe not win powering through because I scored on GL, but like I want to win the English in July, like I want to win because I'm competitive and that's just what I want to do, but I'm also mainly just doing it for fun and just to get on the platform and to give me an excuse to have to keep my body weight in control, which obviously now I've hired Jane isn't such a big deal, but had I not been doing these comps, I probably wouldn't have bothered hiring Jane. I probably would have just let myself sit heavy for longer and then panic closer to comp time and like have to go in a bigger deficit and stuff. So yeah, basically just saying that. I'm still very out of breath. I shouldn't talk until I've got my breath back. Anyway, I'm happy with how squats moved. Last set of 5 at 155, my left wrist wasn't in the best position, so it's a little bit achy right now, but it's fine. Anyway, I got cut off by my camera when I was updating you guys on my new low weigh-in today. 86.1. I have a bit of a trend. I mean, obviously with Jane, like I've only been working with her for 2 weeks, but I know this used to happen before and I've definitely mentioned this in videos as well. But normally like Wednesday to Friday, I have a little bit of a period where I'm sitting a bit heavier. And then as soon as the weekend hits, my weight kind of comes off. And I just think my sleep generally, I mean, even though I didn't sleep that well last night, my sleep and stress levels generally are a bit higher midweek, just because I'm trying to get like ahead for the weekend, I think, a lot of the time. And it's just a trend that I've noticed for ages now, and it's interesting seeing it with Jane as well. Like, obviously, I'm 100% being accurate with my macros now, and it's interesting that this trend is very much still kind of there. So, yeah, I was 86.1 this morning, and I've definitely said this in like one of the last few videos. The goal, really, when I started with her was, like she said, very slow, steady weight loss to get me to an acute cutting range, because we want to maintain as much muscle mass as possible whilst getting me in within range to do an acute cut into comp. So the goal was really 250 grams a week, roughly. And I lost like a kilo in the first week, and I've just lost close to another kilo this week. So I am ahead of schedule, which means fingers crossed, more food next week. But to be honest, I'm all right on the food I'm on now. Like, I can very much cope with this. I think what I will speak to her about is potentially more food for week 4, or at least for the day before my Saturday squats. And I think because I need to take that less more seriously, probably deadlift day as well. But I'll speak to her about that near the time, and she might even suggest that. But no, I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling that good today, that was a lie. But I'm feeling better now. I've trained, even though I've got bench to do, but I'm just gonna have a rest before I get into that. That is the other thing I've thought of for my training as well. Like, I don't really rest. And then when it gets to the heavy weeks of the block, on squats, typically I'll rest more, especially because I do my main session at powering through, where naturally we rest more because we share racks with each other. With my deadlifts,
think that could be part of also where I'm going wrong. I'm not really resting before I do my top sets. Like, I'm literally having 2 minutes maximum, where obviously in comp, most of the time I'll have at least 6 minutes between attempts, and that's in a quick flight. So probably gonna start timing my rest breaks on my deadlift day rather than rushing through the session. Even on my lighter weeks, just to get myself used to it and having enough rest before I do my top sets. Back offs, I don't mind rushing through a little bit more, especially now I've got my lighter back offs, but yeah, that was something else that I definitely thought was worth mentioning that I think I forgot to speak about in the last video. Anyway, actually we'll just crack on now, but I'm probably not going to show much more in this, well, in today, because I'm not really doing a lot more today. Literally just going to finish my session, go in, eat some dinner, probably just clean the house. It's quite boring. But I think a clean space will definitely make me feel a lot better mentally as well. And then tomorrow, to be fair, tomorrow all I've got to do is programming. I think me and my boyfriend are going to go to Dunelm and find my office blinds, because that's also not helping my headaches. I'm also making a rule for myself, I'm not allowed in my office today. So on a Saturday, I think I'm going to do this every Saturday, that I'm not at comps on the weekend, because that does obviously change how I have to do my work and stuff. But for the weekends where I'm home all weekend, Saturday office is off limits. Even if I want to go in there and like watch YouTube on my computer, no, just do it downstairs. Get your laptop, do it downstairs and stuff. So I am making a very conscious effort to not give myself any excuse to work at least one day a week, and Saturday is the most convenient day for that, and it allows me to obviously focus on my training session a bit more too. Anyway, stop talking, get bench done. I'll chat to you guys tomorrow.
Okay, Sunday evening, it is 5 to 6. Actually feeling a lot better today. Start of the day wasn't the best, but to be honest, it was just because I was so tired. Like I've just not been sleeping great. Like I got in bed at good time last night, but I just really struggled to actually fall asleep, and then I'd wake up in the night and just struggle to get back to sleep, which is very out of character for me, to be honest. So when I got up with Zuko at like 6:30, 7, I just felt really exhausted, but we just kind of hung out on the sofa. I watched last night's American Nationals prime time, and then it got to like, I think it was like 9:30-ish, 9, half 9 by the time I finished watching that. And then my boyfriend was then like kind of getting up and starting the day, so I was like, right, well, I'm actually going to go have a nap, because I just feel so tired. Because normally, even if I feel tired when I first get up with him, within about half an hour, I'm all right. But today my energy just wouldn't rise. So I went back to bed, and I actually didn't get out of bed until gone 12. It was about 11:45. My boyfriend came up just to check on me. Him and Zuko bombarded me in the bedroom, basically. Like, Zuko's not really allowed in the bedroom, because there's a lot of stuff he can get our socks and stuff and clothes, and like if we've got a pile of clean washing or something in the wash basket that we haven't put away yet, like he'll grab it. So it's just easier not to let him in there. But it seems to be a thing at the weekends at the moment where he does kind of come in and he just jumps on the bed and attacks us, which obviously we don't mind within reason, but he kind of knows that you can't do that during the week, so it's fine. And yeah, my boyfriend just let him in to like force me to get up, but then actually we ended up just literally all laying on the bed, just kind of playing together for like half an hour to an hour. So it was very nice actually, and it did force me to then get up. I literally got up, straight in the shower, went to the food shop, because I'd already had my breakfast but I had no food in the house for lunch. So just went to the food shop, got home, ended up getting lunch, cracking on with all my coaching work, and then went on a dog walk, hoovered the house, like actually been somewhat productive. So now I was about to bench, and then we're going to go to pump literally as soon as I've finished and do accessories. And then just gonna kind of have a chill evening, might get a little bit more housework done, because actually yesterday I was meant to do quite a lot yesterday, and I was just not in the mood to in the end when I got in after training, so I was like, I'll just leave it. I literally hoovered the living room, cleaned the sofa. We've got like a leather sofa that my boyfriend's parents gave us that was still fairly new when they gave it to us, so I'm just trying to keep that nice and clean and tidy and look after it as much as we can. So that was my yesterday after I came in from training, and then I just sat on the sofa and watched a movie with Zuko, and he was actually really sweet last night, and like he actually laid next to me and just kind of cuddled in, which he doesn't normally do. Normally he's a little terror and just tries to play and eat me the whole time. But no, I'm definitely feeling a lot better today. The dog walk definitely helped, as it always does. And yeah, I just think I'm feeling better. I'm really just prioritising just doing my own thing at the moment, and just like being in my own little world, which I've definitely said multiple times. I'm not really probably explaining in that much detail, but basically I'm just being present, being in my own world, focusing on my own stuff, and it's definitely helping. And I also, like, I realised this morning when I was, it was early afternoon actually, when I was doing my coaching work, like, I'm in a really good mood when I'm working. Like, I think just having like a set schedule and routine is the best thing for me, which, and then when I try and take a day off, I think that's why I struggle so much, which is very unhealthy. But because yesterday I didn't really have a plan, I struggled, I think, more than I normally would. But that's okay. Anyway, I'm feeling good, which is the main thing. Appetite hasn't really been there the last couple of days. That's not necessarily a bad thing. My check-in form with Jane should come through kind of any time now, and then it's going to just be a case of
checking in with her tomorrow. She normally checks in, I think, like Monday evenings. And then we'll hopefully get more food, although to be honest, I think she'll keep it the same next week because my weight's kind of low 86s in a sort of state there. I did go up a little bit this morning, but again, that was bad night's sleep and also, just bad night's sleep basically is the main reason. So anyway, gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna get bench done.
It's so done worth it, the secret we keep. Yeah, I'm a sucker for it. So, this is what happened. Brianna's such a goddess, could get anyone she likes, but when she's looking at me like that,
Okay, session complete. Just gonna turn my speaker off. That was, I say session complete, bench complete. I've still got my accessories to go do. But bench felt decent. I say that, it felt a bit janky, like my technique didn't feel 100%, but to be honest, I think I just kind of rushed. Also, I need to actually start wearing my singlet. I did for a bit and then I just keep not being bothered to put them on. But I need to wear my singlet for bench now because I do notice that my positioning is quite not dependent on what I'm wearing, but like in this top I slip a lot more. Whereas if I just train in my singlet, I'll know I'm good no matter what. But yeah, no, bench felt okay. Everything moved really, really easily, even if my positioning didn't feel 100%, so no complaints from me. I also think that's partly why I just kind of rushed through it, because I was like, well, it's light enough, I can just do that. So that's probably also why I didn't feel as great. But I feel better now that's done, and it's gone well. 105 felt weirdly easy, actually. I actually think I messed up the 105 because I was surprised how easy it was. Bearing in mind, like, my warm-ups didn't feel fantastic. They didn't feel terrible, they just didn't feel great. I don't quite know how 105 moved that easily, but I just need to remember that I am a big bencher. Like, I can bench comfortably over 105 I can bench 110 any day of the week, right? Like, I don't know yet what my opener is going to be, but I really want to push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit with bench. Obviously, that's not sensible to do on your openers, but I want to put myself in a position that I can hit a decent bench PB at comp. And I'm not going to push bench crazy in training until comp day, for the fact that I just think usually if I over push bench at the end of a block, I struggle to then do it the next block as well. So this block, I'm basically just repeating the last block's numbers. Going to end with 112 to 115-ish on week 4, hopefully, is the plan. Ideally 115 executed better than the end of last block, and then next block, hopefully at comp, I'll be able to bench 115-ish, but we'll just kind of see. But 115 would be a 2.5 comp PB, so I'll be pretty happy with that. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I don't think there's anything else to show in this video, to be honest. Literally all I've got for the rest of the day is to go and do my accessory day, and then just gonna eat, chill out, have like a relaxed evening in, probably sit on the sofa maybe. I need to do a little bit more housework, but I'm just going to do that as the day goes by. That'll be fine. But yeah, no, everything's good. I'm definitely feeling better than I did yesterday by quite a large margin. So I'm just going to basically just continue this next week, just in my own little bubble, just focusing on me, what I need to do, work. I am meeting up with a friend tomorrow, her and her husband, which feels weird to say her husband, they only got married a few months ago. It's whose Hindu I went on last year. If you've been around for a while, you know I went to Hindu and then I had to travel for her wedding not long after. She's back in the area, they don't live around here anymore, this week for the Easter holidays, so we're going to meet up with her and her husband tomorrow. We're going to go on a dog walk because they've got a little dog too, so Zuko can make a friend, because last time they came home was when Zuko wasn't vaccinated, so they couldn't actually meet, but they came around and met Zuko and loved him, obviously, because he's so adorable. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you if you made it to the end. Kind of ending on a more positive note than we started, but I will, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
she's only mine. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but